Old school Louisville boy like Reese Gaines. I know we were cool back then, but things changed. Your chick give me brain, my chicken's free range. Reporting live from the 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Crack Paddles podcast. We have maybe our biggest interview to date on this episode, Kevin. I am in Orlando at the Aventura Resort, a part of Universal Studios. I've been here all week, my favorite place on earth, so that's what I'm doing. It's been a great time. How are you, Kevin Dong?
Doing great. Do you want to tell people who we're going to interview, or are you just going to...
Oh, yeah. Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do in the podcast business? You build it up. Like, who knows? I might be having...
right.
Who knows who I might have? It's Danielle Collins, okay?
Yeah.
She's still a professional tennis player, ranked as high as number 7 in the world. Just came out with her brand new paddle in collaboration with Tecnifibre and 6-0. It's definitely an eye catcher, Kevin.
Yeah, so we can get more into that later, but just want to tease that you want to stay tuned for that.
Danielle Collins made the Australian Open final in 2022, kind of had a notorious back and forth with the Australian crowd, I think last year, I believe. And yeah, she's a legend. She's definitely got a lot of personality. Happy to see tennis players with personality get into the pickleball space. So yeah, stoked to talk with her a little bit later on and see what her journey has been like into the world of pickleball.
Yeah, and speaking of paddles, since she's releasing a paddle, I've had some, you like to call it paddle drama, but I just like to call it paddle research or
paddle madness.
Yeah, paddle exploration.
Paddle battles.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a big stack of paddles back there of all the paddles I've played with, throughout the last couple of years. But I think that I'm going to start becoming, instead of trying to work with different paddle companies one month at a time or a few months at a time, I'm just going to become a permanent free agent, like kind of a mixture of not a paddle reviewer, but kind of, not a full-fledged pro player, but kind of, and definitely a content creator, just a mixture of all of that, just so I can give people an actual honest review of what I actually like to play with and how this stacks up against other paddles. So hopefully that'll be interesting for some people, because I obviously have certain tendencies, but at the same time I'm competing in pro events, so it's I want to maximize my margins as much as possible to give myself the best chance to win, not necessarily tie myself to a company because they're willing to pay me.
Jack of all trades, master of none, Kevin. Just kidding.
Exactly.
No, I think that's great. I think, again, you have a lot of pickleball paddle reviewers out there that do very well in terms of engagement. Pickleball is very unique in that people buy new weapons every month, it seems like, whereas in tennis, I could play with a racket for a full year. So I think you'll do very well in this department, and I know that you're I don't like to say this word a lot, but you're a nerd as far as pickleball paddles go. I'm more of an intuition, color kind of a guy when it comes to the paddle, but you definitely provide real in-depth analysis, and I think the viewers will look forward to that.
Yeah, and I guess my vision is that I'm not really a direct competitor of Pickleball Studio or all these other paddle reviewers, but more of a
you're above
supplementary.
A 5-0.
Huh?
You're above a 5-0. You might be the first paddle reviewer ever that's above a 5-0.
No, I mean, come on, Chris Olsen's brother is definitely above a 5-0. He's doing all those reviews too. Isaac Olsen.
Isaac what?
I think Olsen, right? Yeah.
Never heard of him. Just kidding. He's probably better than me. No,
But okay, my point is that I actually watch all of their content.
I know you do.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more, John Q, all of them. Basically, it's more supplementary to that is my goal. It's okay, they got all the specs and stuff. Here's how it feels to me. Here's a different perspective, a fresh perspective that, no offense, but Alex Crum, Zane Navratil, Ben Johns, all those people can't give that perspective because they're tied into contracts.
Got it.
Okay.
No. Listen, I love all paddle reviewers. No shade to the paddle review community, but my thing has always been this, and this is not one person in particular, but it's I take a look at that forehand, and I'm well, how am I supposed to gauge what this paddle can do or not do when you're hitting the ball like that, brother? So that's always been my thing, but I think I might actually, to be fair, I feel that way about your beforehand, Kevin. Just
Yeah, I was
kidding.
gonna say.
Yeah. So even your reviews won't do me any good.
I'd love to see you see my forehand now that I have the boomstick.
Listen, man.
Or even with the Holbrook, it was pretty hefty.
Listen. No one is a bigger believer in you adding more offensive, the ground stroke variety to your game than me. People forget when you first started playing pickleball, we used to grind singles at the park in Cincinnati. So people forget that. Some people may never even have heard that before, but we did. And you're not bad once, I believe.
I beat you in one game out of like 7 the first time we played, and it was probably like I think it was like literally the first or second game, and never again except for during the documentary film session in a game to 5.
Dude, one of your like most viral clips is you just hitting passing shots against Nate. I don't know if Nate was just like super slow at that particular time period, but you were dipping. You can dip some passing shots on both sides.
Yeah, I think
it's a tennis racket clip.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that thing still sells carbon paddles for me. Like that one video.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
Yeah, it's basically 2 years old at this point, and it's still selling paddles. Anyway, just a quick paddle topic. Like one thing I've been going through recently is, okay, what paddle should I use in my next pro tournament? Like literally next week. So I was between the Yola Pro 4 Perseus 16 millimeter, the Holbrook Arma, and the Selkirk Boomstick. All three clearly in the power territory. My take is that the Yola Pro 4 is the standard for what a good power paddle is, but it's also not the absolute golden standard. Like there's still room to go, depending on what you like or want more of. Like, do you want more power?
A little grit would help.
Exactly. Do you want more power and pop? Okay, that definitely exists. Do you want more grit on the actual face? That exists. Like
that
the Yola
at $59.99 at Target.
Yeah, and then and then do you want more durability? That exists because obviously that's really important for 99.9% of the pickleball population. I will say though, even though the Yola Pro 4 doesn't have as much surface grit, the core gives it plenty of dwell time. So it's kind of impressive where it's like, oh, you get that much spin on full strokes from just the core. Imagine if they had actual real grit on the actual face of the paddle. So anyway, for me, it's like my flicks and speed ups off the bounce. I don't get as much spin with the Yola Pro 4 as I would with like the Arma or the Boomstick. So those are pretty important shots for me. So that's why I actually liked the Holbrook Arma more. It was more powerful, more poppy, and
surface grit. Well, let me ask you something. What did you do to that poor Arma? I saw you posted a picture of that thing. It looked like you had buried it under your house and then dug it out 3 years later, man. You need to get some paddle reset on there.
Yeah, that's true. I ran out of paddle reset. I needed another bottle.
Hard, man, what are you doing? That thing looked beat to shreds.
Dude, you don't understand. I drill so much.
You've been drilling? Okay.
Yeah.
Just hands.
Just so many reps of everything. Yeah.
It's like you were in a hands battle for 3 years with that paddle.
Dude, the other day, BMAC and I literally drilled hands for 50 minutes straight. It was like a 2-hour drill session. For the first crazy. 50 minutes, all we did was speed up and drill hands. Like it was like semi-cooperative counters, like back and forth, trying to like work on our counter technique.
I like that. That's a super, super valuable thing to do. I don't think, I could do that for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Yeah.
But so let's move on. What are you going with?
I'm going with the Boomstick because I think the Boomstick actually has less dwell time, but the grit is so extreme that as long as I'm using my wrist even more than normal, the actual wrist and the brush will create the spin for me. So I think the grit is so extreme that it makes up for the lack of spin that it gets from the core. But yeah, it's also even hotter than the Arma. Like it's poppier than the Arma, which is hotter than the Yola. So it's like I'm going to like as far extreme possible into power territory as I can.
I know a lot of people will understand what you're saying there. I don't, but no, I'm kidding.
Okay, well,
it's poppier than the Yola, but it dwells a little less, but it pops a little more. No, listen, people understand what you're saying.
Hey, speaking of paddles, that would be a good time to bring in
MidwestRacketSports.com. That is our favorite sponsor, our only sponsor, actually, MidwestRacketSports.com. All your paddle needs, all the latest paddles. They have an excellent demo program. I think you can use code CP15 to get 15% off the entire site. We have some awesome cracked paddles, hats. We need to move hats, guys, all right? If you want to be the coolest guy at the bar, the coolest guy at the courts, if you wear a Cracked Paddles podcast you will get all the attention. Everyone will come up to you. They'll treat you like a celebrity. I guarantee it. So go to MidwestRacketSports.com for all your pickleball needs. Use code CP15. We love everyone at Midwest. And that's probably a good foray into our next guest. We're going to have Danielle Collins joining us, talking about her brand new paddle, the Danimal.
Let's bring her in. She's just waiting in the room.
Vibe these days. Old school Louisville boy like Reese Gaines. I know we were cool back then, but things change. Your chick give me brain, my chicken's free range. Reporting live from the 5.
We now welcome on an incredibly special guest. She is an icon. She is fearless. She is fierce. She is a legend in the world of tennis and abroad. Two-time national champion at the University of Virginia, career high ranking of number 7 in the world in tennis. That's incredibly, almost impossible, folks. She's won multiple tournaments on the WTA Tour, most recently in 2024 at the Miami Open. That's a Masters 1000, folks. She's made the finals of the Australian Open, etc., etc. And now she is the face of a brand new pickleball paddle, the Danimal, a partnership between Tecnifibre and 6-0. Danielle Collins, the Danimal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so pumped to get this started.
I am as well. So I'll start us off here. Obviously, you have a tennis background. How did this collaboration with Tecnifibre, obviously a huge tennis brand, and then 6-0, an Australian pickleball paddle brand, how did this collaboration come to fruition?
Yeah, so earlier this year, Tecnifibre came to me. You know, they're my racket creator, and I represent them on court. So they came to me and asked if I had any interest in making my own pickleball paddle, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was just like, how can we make this the coolest pickleball paddle? Aesthetically, how can we make this really kind of represent my personality and, you know, what I'm about? And I feel like the design team was really able to kind of bring my vision to life and make it really my own. So it's been a really special project.
Amazing.
I feel like
I can say, well, let me say one thing. I was going to say it has to be the first leopard print pickleball paddle, or at least the first one that looks that good.
Right. That looks real.
Yeah. I mean, when we were talking about doing leopard print, because like 85% of my closet is leopard,
Wow.
you know, I was a little bit nervous about how that would be able to be printed onto a paddle and make it look cool and not something that was, you know, too in your face. And the way that the team was able to put the graphic design together and then implement it onto the actual paddle, it really looks fantastic. And the design team, like I can't like speak more highly about what they were able to do and bringing my vision to life. I wanted to have a little bit of like a vintage aesthetic as well. And then, you know, trying to incorporate like having like the leather grip on the handle and putting that all together, but also making it kind of retro and fun. So I think it was a bit of a difficult task. I had a lot of different themes going on, but they made it come together and made it look really cohesive. So.
Yeah, no, aesthetically it looks incredibly cool. And I like the little vintage, the tan handle, leather. You can never go wrong with a leather grip on a paddle or a racket, whatever it is, always looks sweet.
Yeah, the leather grip, I feel like on rackets is just like gives you like a nostalgia of like the 70s and the 80s. And I love that vibe. So yeah, it was pretty cool that we could get it onto a pickleball paddle. I don't know if I haven't seen that many pickleball paddles that have the leather grip. Have you?
No, just a few.
Yeah.
I try putting one on to play tennis and I'm like, I always like want to do it. And then I'll do it for like my teaching racket with tennis. And I'm like, this thing is so heavy. Like I can barely get to here. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am. I haven't been able to like put it on one of my rackets that I've actually used in matches because it feels a little bit heavy, but this leather grip is like flexible. It's not super heavy.
Yeah, it's softer. It looks
softer and it's a little bit more practical. So, you know, this is a performance paddle And that was the other thing, is there's a lot of cool looking paddles, but some of them aren't high performance. And this is a very high performance paddle that looks really cool too. So
Amazing.
best of both worlds.
Can't wait to rip with it at some point.
Yeah, you got to try it out.
I will.
Hey, speaking of paddles, I'm just curious, like when did you like start dabbling in pickleball, and like can you walk us through some of the older paddles that you used, or is that off limits?
So I mean, to be honest, the way I first played pickleball, I was at one of the parks that I play at in Florida where I play tennis, and there's a group in the mornings that play pickleball, and a couple of the ladies and I were talking, and I said, look, I've never played pickleball before. This was probably like 2 years ago. And they were like, well, you should join in. So I played with them for like an hour, and I would have stayed all day if I could. I just loved it. So yeah, that was kind of how, like, the first time I played. And then after that, like, I just found that in a lot of ways, it's a little bit more easy to pick up with friends and people who might not necessarily be in tennis. And it can be a little bit more interactive, because a lot of my friends that don't play tennis, to go out and play tennis with them, it's a lot harder to keep a rally going. But in pickleball, you can kind of keep it going a little bit more. So I find it to be a little bit more fun. And I get my competitive fix on the tennis court. So when it is time for me to play pickleball, it's more of a hobby, if anything. It's not something that at least right now, that I'm looking to go out and be super competitive in. I'm always pretty competitive, but
Sure.
it is a hobby for me, and something that I enjoy, and something that, is my fun time. So yeah.
You haven't thought about intentionally training for your hobby yet, right? It's like, that's like,
not yet. No,
just a
not
brick
yet,
wall.
But not yet, but we could, me and the pickleball, professionals, we can negotiate, right?
Yeah, right. Listen, man, you could probably get a fat bag thrown your way. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it'll have to be a fat bag. I'll tell you that right now.
Going.
I made some good money in my tennis career, so it's gonna have to be a real fat bag.
Yes, you probably. I don't know, Jeannie. I don't think loves like doing the media stuff. I think you would be great at that. You'd probably get a big old bag. I'll text Pardo and see what he's.
Sign me up. Yeah, get me in touch with the right peeps. We'll see what we can do.
Hey, in exchange, like, you'll play a couple events with AC when you come on tour.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get you the biggest bag. I'll get you the biggest pickleball bag that's out there, and then you got to play mixed doubles with me here and there.
All right, I'll play mixed doubles with you.
All right, perfect. Well, that kind of okay. So you sort of briefly touched on this, but I've been of belief, like, I'm a lifelong tennis player, nowhere near the level of you. Kevin is as well, and
also nowhere near the level.
Yes, but
I'm nowhere near your level in pickleball. Let me tell you that right now. So
not
yet. Yeah,
not
exactly.
Yet.
So I teach a lot of tennis, primarily at country clubs throughout the country, and I am of the belief. So I hear a lot of people that trash pickleball, or vice versa. Some people that are very bad at tennis, and I'm like, I think that they can work in conjunction, and that, like, pickleball can even be a segue into tennis. But to your point, the biggest thing for me is, if you take a 30-year-old out to a tennis court who has never played tennis in their lives before, it's going to be a miserable experience for, like, could be 6 months, could be a year, like, could be 2 years. I know people out there that still can't hit the ball longer than 5 times in a row. So my biggest thing is, like, you can bring literally anyone onto a pickleball court, and they're not going to be good, but they can have fun right away. And I actually know quite a few people that, like, played pickleball, and then, like, now they're playing tennis. They're doing both. And so that's sort of been my philosophy, is that, like, they can work hand in hand. And the more people who play racket sports, padel, et cetera, like, that's ultimately better for the game. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I think by having all of these different racket sports, it just promotes all of them in some way. And it gets people more engaged in all of the sports. And I think each one kind of has unique features that makes the sport interesting. So, you have to find what clicks. But I do think that, like you said, for some people, starting in pickleball and then transitioning into tennis can be a little bit easier transition once you get the feel for it on the smaller court. Sure. But yeah, I don't really understand, like, some of these tennis purists that are anti-pickleball. I mean, I feel like there's room for all of the racket sports. And I feel like, too, like, the energy in pickleball and the pickleball community, it's kind of something special. Tennis can be a little bit stuffy and an uppity sport. And I find the pickleball community to be quite refreshing. And there's a lot more pickleball courts that we're seeing all throughout the country. So it's pretty cool. I feel like if you're not on board with pickleball, get on board with it because it's here to stay. So, yeah, I mean, I was certainly a little discerning at first, but that tends to just be how I am in general. But yeah, once I played for the first time, I was sold.
Yeah. Definitely different skill sets. I mean, obviously there's a lot
Yeah,
of
totally
translation,
different
but
skill set. And I mean, that's the thing too. Like you look at some of these, really, really great and well-accomplished tennis players, and it is a bit of a transition when you're switching over to pickleball, and the skill set that, is required in pickleball is much different than what you have in tennis. And so, I'm sure if I was going to play pickleball, I would have that same issue, and I would need a little bit of time to kind of tune up my game and figure out the tactical side and really spend a lot of time, thinking about, how I would want to build my game. But it's not like an overnight thing. I think, the pickleball players have a really unique skill set. So
sure. Yeah. Singles, I think you could come in, and that's sort of always the same for me. Like I'm far at singles. Like I think I'm one of the best, but it doubles is still like, and I've been playing for almost 2 years. It's just like,
do you like singles or doubles better?
Oh, I'm a singles guy through and through. Like I love it. I mean, I think it's more dynamic. There's more shot making involved. I think like on TV, a good singles point like is a product that people are like, oh, I can watch this. Whereas doubles, even though doubles is so complex and it's like a chess match,
Yeah.
I still think to people who don't play pickleball, no matter how challenging or like, impressive a rally may be, they're going to be like that. Like, what was that? You know what I'm saying? So like, people who play pickleball much prefer to watch doubles. People that don't play pickleball
Yes.
prefer to watch singles.
Okay.
It's similar to like chess
Tennis.
a little bit. Well, I was gonna say for doubles, pickleball is kind of like chess, where chess is like its own language. If you don't play chess at all, if you don't even know how the pieces move or what the strategies are, you're gonna watch a chess game and be like, I might as well be staring at a brick wall. Like there's no, I might as well be watching paint dry. Like I don't know. Like, but with pickleball, it's like okay, the doubles, it's more, there is shot making, but it's more how do you set up your shot, and it's like okay, and then after that, it's like all the fast reactions and fast volleys. But yeah, it takes a little bit. It's more of a slow burn than singles is, but at the same time, you get some people that will play the tennis style and just try and blaze their way through with huge forehands and backhands, and that will get you pretty far. So it's modern pickleball is becoming almost more like tennis in certain ways.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that play tennis, like I think they can appreciate watching doubles, but then I think for people that don't play tennis, they have a harder time understanding it, just like you were saying. And then they kind of prefer to maybe watch singles because of it. But yeah, I mean, I like both. I'm starting to like doubles more than I like singles just because of the team aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I've had my best results in singles, and, that's definitely my stronger out of the two, but I like doubles for the team part of it. I just like the camaraderie that you get to share with your partner, working together, and having a friend out on court. You need that.
I'm getting there. I used to not enjoy doubles at all, but again, it's like one of those things where pickleball is doubles. It's just like tennis. Like no matter what happens, singles is always going to be the show in tennis. That's just the reality of it. I think like what did at the US Open, like all that's cool. And it's like good to like get people into doubles because it's a different game. Pickleball is the opposite in that like, I think doubles will probably always be kind of the bigger event because that's what amateurs play and that's what they see. But yeah, so that it's kind of that's why I'm like, all right, I have to become good at doubles because that's what most like people care about and brands and things like that. Like, that is pickleball. Singles can be like mini tennis.
All right, well, I'll start working on my game. We can play doubles together.
All right, let's go. Like I said, I'll text Chris Patrick right now. He's the PPA guy.
All right. Text him. Get that bag.
But all right, well, we don't want to keep you to it. Kevin, I know you wanted to ask a little bit about sort of the competitive, some of the maybe help you for your tournament next week.
Right. Yeah, I'm currently in a bit of a paddle crisis to try and figure out what I'm going to compete with next week in a pro event. But just want to hear more about the Danimal paddle. What can you tell us about, anything, if it's specs or what it's made of or whatever, anything about like how it performs? Because you said it's a performance paddle, right?
Yeah, it's a performance paddle. It's basically the same specs as the Blitz, but with my own aesthetic. So with the Danimal aesthetic. So that was really important to me because I love playing with the Blitz. That's what I was playing with, before my paddle came out. I still have it. I mean, it's essentially very, very similar. So, that's my favorite paddle. I feel like it gives me just the right amount of control and power. Similar to what I need like on a tennis court. I like to hit the drives, so I need a little extra control sometimes with that. And I like having the elongated paddle as well. I use a elongated racket. So I typically like to just have, a little bit more length. And that's all I can really say. I mean, I'm not the biggest like technical expert when it comes to all of the nuances and things that go into making paddles and rackets. But that's where the Tecnifibre team came in handy, and they knew exactly what to do and how to put everything together. So, and the most interesting part of the design process was, incorporating all of the things that I wanted to aesthetically and making sure it could still be a performance paddle, because sometimes when you're playing around with different paint and trim, that can affect the paddle overall. But with the technical team, we were able to get it, really similar to the Blitz and keep it a performance paddle. And that was my biggest thing, is I wanted it to be a performance paddle because, like I said, there's so many paddles out there that are cute, but then they kind of play like crap, and right. I wanted something that looks good, but you can also play good with it. So
love that. You got the Japanese carbon fiber too. It's a pretty gritty paddle, like that you can. There's a good amount of spin, I think, potential on that one as well. I think I might have hit briefly with the Blitz at one point. It's super good. There's a lot of grit on there. I'm a Proton guy. Project the Flamingo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a crisis. Long story. On the last episode, it was just me crying for like an hour because I couldn't
literally 60 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Not actually, but kind of. I couldn't play with my paddle in the last tournament because like there's like more regulations and like a new testing, and it's so much different than tennis, and that like you could give me anything that's somewhat similar. Like if I can string it at 50 pounds, like whatever, I can figure it out. The pickleball court is so much smaller. And like I put a weight here and like my grip is like ribbed. And like I do all this goofy stuff to my paddle. I got copper here. Whereas my racket, it's like I never weight my racket. I string it at 50, like Hyper G, I'm out the door. But in pickleball, like it makes such a huge difference. So like I was a pumpkin in my last tournament in Cincinnati.
Oh my gosh. So you had to make the switch.
Yeah, I had to like play with something that I never played with. And like
his normal paddle was not approved.
Right, my normal paddle failed testing, so to speak. But we're back on the list.
How did it fail testing?
It's you know what, you don't want to get into the weeds on this. It's a very convoluted ecosystem.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. So the thing with the paddles is like it's so convoluted, and there's so much that has to be under certain RPMs and certain like
because they don't want it too powerful.
Right.
They don't want too powerful testing. Or too much spin. Or they want like have a regulation on how much spin. Like you can't be like totally uncapped.
I see. But that's smart because I mean the court is so small, like you said, if people were just like adding tons of weight and doing things to have more spin, like those matches would get crazy.
Yeah.
No, you could lose an eye for sure. But no, they do. And that's why so I actually like, I'm tight with the guy who like runs the whole thing. We had him on last week. They're just trying to regulate it because it's kind of been like the Wild West where these paddle companies could just like do whatever they wanted.
Yeah. So do you have like an inspector that inspects the paddles before each match?
Yeah. So before every tournament or before like every round, you actually have to go on and like they have like all these crazy machines that like do. Yeah. So you do have to get it like at the PPA in the round of 32 and like going forward, you have to get it tested before every match.
Oh my God.
And
there's
people will
been
like put it in the refrigerator to make the core. Like they'll leave it out in the sun. They'll run it over. Like I'm seriously, people do. You'd be amazed.
So
like,
run it over with their car.
for real. The core crush it.
Oh, that's like when we step on like the strings on the on our rackets, you know. That's so
but the
funny.
strings are so replaceable. This is like
Do you
the actual
recommend
paddle.
running over your paddle with the car? Or?
Oh, with scooter. Got to be a scooter.
It's got to be a scooter.
Yeah, no, I've never done
I had
anything.
a scooter in college. I could have used my scooter to run over the paddle.
I'll admit, I've taken a massage gun to one of my paddles to try and break it in faster, so it would be a little faster.
God.
Yeah,
Kevin,
but
he's just sitting there theragunning his new carbon paddle. You don't have to do that with the Danimal, folks. The Danimal comes right out of the box. Ready
Right out of the box. It's
don't
fresh
need to
out of the box. You don't have to
Theragun
run
your
it over.
paddle.
You don't have to put it in the fridge.
Well, that's awesome.
And you
I
don't
can't
have to
wait.
take the massage gun to it.
Yes, please don't put the
There
massage.
you have it.
Like Kevin
So-
he was sitting in a room with his Theragun.
Oh God.
But all right, I have a question for you that is unrelated, and you may just not even care at all. But you are a Virginia Cavalier. Do you follow college football at all?
So I am the most like non-sports person ever. I'm kind
Okay.
of more on the nerdy side. So
But I am a
I
sports
actually don't follow like many sports outside of tennis, surfing, equestrian, and then pickleball, paddle.
Equestrian, that's sick. All right, well, anyway, Virginia had a big win last week, and they play my team, Louisville, and I'm going to be there on Saturday. So we'll see.
Nice. All
They're
right.
actually very good. They just beat the number 7 team in the country, Florida State, and had like one of the most epic,
I posted
dangerous,
about what happened on the field because it was so crazy. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's like, wow, you know, especially for a team like Virginia, where, you know, we haven't really been known for our football over the course of however many years. And I mean, when I was in college, we were more of I would say like a basketball school or a tennis school too.
Tennis always.
Yeah. Our tennis program won a lot of national championships. So
most accomplished tennis program in the country, I believe, or at least it's in the top 2 or 3.
It's up
on both sides,
Up there.
definitely.
yeah. Go Who's.
Okay, go Who's. Well, Danielle, anything else you want to touch on? Thank you so much for coming on. Where can people buy this paddle? Is what I want.
You can buy online. Find
Everywhere.
it online. Yeah, on
Type
the
in the
internet.
Danimal Tecnifibre paddle. You can find it anywhere. Probably.
Anywhere.
You guys our audience is smart. They know how to use the internet.
Yeah, use the internet, you guys. Anything else I want to touch on?
where can they find you? Anything else like personally
they
that you have
find
coming
me?
up? Yeah.
Ooh, Australia, baby. Everyone's gonna see me in Australia. You know, I'm not gonna miss it.
Let's go.
I
She's
think
coming
they
back.
missed a little bit of this.
Yeah, they did.
We weren't going to go there, but if you were going to,
Well, I'll
you
go
mean?
there.
I got a quick one. When you play with your friends, is this like, hey, we're all cooperative, or are you like trying to body bag them and hit them all the time?
It depends which friends. You know, you have different friends for different occasions, right?
Mhm.
And I have, you know, my really sweet friends that aren't competitive, that are not athletes. So like I would never do that to them. But then the ones that can compete and have a thick skin, like we banter, we go back and forth, we can have a little fun. But
Are you
if I know-
full
if I know
sending,
someone's,
like,
a
right
little
at their
stiff
chest?
and if somebody's like, if one of my friends is like a little bit of stiff or sensitive, you know, I'm not going to poke too much because it's you know, it's not worth it. But with my friends that can handle it, we'll go back and forth. We like to have a little fun.
With the banter, or are you physically like sending it right at their chest?
Both.
Okay, love it.
Yeah, both. It just depends, you know.
Yeah.
Kevin's a
Especially
big
with the
body
guys.
bag guy.
The guys, you got to go after them. So you
Yes.
know, you can't take it easy on the guys. You know, you don't want to make them too soft.
Yeah, you're right. It's for their own good.
Yeah, it's for their own
Exactly.
good. They need to toughen up, these men.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Well, Dan, where are you going
Put
to
some
be
hair on
next?
that chest, you know.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, where can we find you? Where are you going to be next, Danielle? Where should the people look for you? Everywhere?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah, I
better
think
wake
they
up
missed me
early.
down under.
Tune in. She's going to be back in the Australian Open where she's made a final. She's gotten into it with the crowd, but I think they all secretly love her. They want her back. They're excited to see what she's going to do next. And that's why I was like, oh, the 6-0 Australian company, a little bit of
Bridging the gap.
Aussie vibes. Yeah,
You're-
they know that I'm a popular girl down under.
There, exactly. You're bridging the gap through pickleball, Danielle.
There you go. There you have it. The Australians love me. So what can I say?
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, go buy the Danimal paddle. Buy 10 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them. Can't wait to see. I'll go ahead and put the sign up in for PPA 2027. That mixed doubles. I'll get right on getting you that big contract, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, secure the bag. Let's go.
I know you're a bag getter, so I'll see what I can do. But like I said, the precedent that's been set by your colleagues puts you up here as far as the compensation is concerned.
Hey,
So,
let's go. Let's
Very
go.
true.
very
Bring
true.
it to me.
All right, sister, we got you. Well, hey, thanks again so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So that's not a little bored. That sucks. Life's tough. Last thing I need is more stuff. It's true. I need a little more time with you.